The Las Vegas Raiders just made the kind of move that can wake up an entire franchise. But the dangerous part is not one signing, one draft pick, or one loud promise. It is how every move suddenly connects. Clint Kubiak walked into Las Vegas fresh from a Super Bowl win with Seattle, and he did not come to protect the old plan. He came to replace it. The Raiders added strength where the roster kept breaking, built a real path at quarterback, and surrounded their young stars with players who know how to win. This team did not spend the offseason chasing attention. It attacked the problems that ruined last season, one room at a time. And when you see what they placed around their most explosive weapon, the whole picture starts to feel very different. The offense now has something it lacked for years: direction. Kirk Cousins brings control and experience, but sitting behind him is Fernando Mendoza, the #1 overall pick and the future of the franchise. That creates a choice Las Vegas has not had in a long time. They do not have to rush the young quarterback. They can let him learn, build confidence, and step onto the field when the team is ready for him, not when panic forces the decision. In front of both quarterbacks, Tyler Linderbaum arrives to lead a line that gave up 64 sacks last season. Behind that line waits Ashton Jeanty, a runner who produced even when defenders were reaching him before the play had a chance to breathe. Give him cleaner space, and this offense could turn violent very quickly. But the change is not limited to one side of the ball. Max Crosby remains the heart of the defense after a trade that nearly sent him away, and the Raiders placed more speed around him with Kwity Paye, Quay Walker, Nakobe Dean, and Malcolm Kuntz. The secondary now has real competition, including a rookie corner who began taking first-team snaps before most fans even knew his name. That story is coming, because it may tell us more about this new staff than any big contract could. First, though, everything starts inside the quarterback room, where Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza are about to decide how quickly this entire rebuild moves. The real battle in Las Vegas is not about naming a starter as fast as possible. It is about choosing the right moment. Kirk Cousins gives Clint Kubiak something priceless, a quarterback who already knows how this offense should sound before the snap. They spent 3 seasons together in Minnesota, so the calls, checks, and timing will not feel new. During their time together, Cousins threw for 12,089 yards and 94 touchdowns. That lets the Raiders install the system without slowing everything down for one position. Cousins can steady the offense now, while the young passer behind him learns without carrying the weight of every mistake. That young passer is Fernando Mendoza, and his path matters more than any Week 1 debate. He finished college by leading Indiana through an unbeaten season, winning the Heisman Trophy and becoming the first overall pick. But none of that makes the NFL simple. The windows close faster. Defenses hide pressure longer. One bad read can turn a safe drive into 7 points the other way. That is why sitting behind Cousins could become an advantage instead of a delay. Mendoza can study protections, watch how a veteran controls the huddle, and learn what changes when the game plan starts fighting back on Sunday. If he earns the job early, the Raiders can play him. If he needs time, they no longer have to fake confidence and hope. The room also includes Aiden O'Connell and Jacob Clark, which keeps every practice honest. O'Connell has real game experience, while Clark enters as a rookie trying to earn his place. Around them, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Trey Tucker, Jalen Naylor, and Jack Betch give the offense different answers at different levels of the field. The pressure is not to force one quarterback into becoming a hero. The pressure is to build a system that keeps moving no matter who takes the snap. Yet even the smartest plan falls apart when the pocket collapses before the route develops. That brings the story to the group carrying the heaviest responsibility in the entire rebuild. The offensive line is where promises become real or die quickly. Last season, Las Vegas could not stay on schedule because pressure arrived before plays had time to form. Now Tyler Linderbaum steps into the center of everything, not only to block, but to organize. He has already earned 3 Pro Bowl selections, and he has missed only 2 games in his NFL career. That matters for a unit that needs trust more than noise. Every protection call starts with him, and every clean snap gives the quarterback 1 more second to make the right choice. The rest of the line now has clearer roles. Colton Miller remains the proven left tackle, the man asked to handle the most dangerous edge rushers without help. Jackson Powers Johnson can settle inside. where his strength and quick hands fit naturally. Spencer Burford brings experience from San Francisco and a real chance to compete at guard. DJ Glaze enters his third season with the right tackle job in sight, but nothing is being handed to him. Then there is Trey Zune III, a rookie built like a tackle but experienced enough to move. He started 50 college games and lined up at both left tackle and center during his final season. That flexibility gives the staff another answer when injuries or poor play force changes. What makes this group important is not one famous name. It is the way the pieces can now finally support each other. Linderbaum can help set the front. Miller can protect the blind side. Powers Johnson can attack inside instead of constantly changing jobs. The younger blockers can compete without being thrown into roles they have not earned. That should help the passing game. But the bigger effect may come on early downs, when one clean lane can change the entire shape of a drive. The Raiders do not need this line to become perfect overnight. They need it to stop losing plays before they begin. If that happens, the next player in this story will no longer be fighting through traffic every time he touches the football. The player standing behind that line already proved he can create something from almost nothing. Ashton Gianti entered the league with every defense waiting for him. Yet he kept turning broken plays into useful yards. He finished his rookie season with 975 rushing yards, 1,321 yards from scrimmage, and 10 total touchdowns. Those numbers were not built inside an easy offense. They came while the Raiders spent too many drives playing from behind, facing crowded boxes, and asking their young back to escape contact before he reached open grass. Now the conditions around Gianti are changing. A stronger center can create cleaner movement inside. Better protection can stop defenses from attacking the run without fear. A steady passing game can pull one defender away from the box, and that single body matters when Gianti sees the field as quickly as he does. He does not need a huge opening. He needs a crease, one clear step, and enough space to force a tackler into a bad angle. The shocking part is that Las Vegas did not stop there. The front office traded up for Mike Washington Jr., a rookie whose size and speed create a completely different problem. Washington ran the 40-yard dash in 4.33 seconds at the combine. He carries a bigger frame than most runners with that kind of speed, which means tired defenders cannot relax when Gianti leaves the field. One back can press a gap, change direction, and punish weak contact. The other can hit open space and erase pursuit angles before the defense resets. Together, they give Clint Kubiak more freedom to use motion, outside runs, screens, and play action without changing the people on the field. That uncertainty starts before the snap and can open room for Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Trey Tucker, and Jalen Naylor downfield. But an offense built to control games still needs a defense capable of stealing possessions. That is where the Raiders made their next quiet move, adding speed around the one star every opponent already fears. The defense begins with a simple problem for every opponent. Where do you send the extra blocker when pressure can come from either side or straight through the middle? Max Crosby has spent years drawing double teams, chips, and protection plans built almost entirely around stopping him. That attention creates chances, but only when the players beside him can finish the job. Las Vegas finally added enough pieces to make that choice painful. Kwity Paye arrives with power, experience, and 30.5 career sacks, giving the front another proven threat who can attack more than one gap. The middle of the defense may change even more. Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean played together at Georgia, so the connection between them is already real. Both can run, close space, and attack the quarterback when the call asks for pressure. That gives defensive coordinator Rob Leonard room to hide his intentions. One linebacker can step toward the line, then fall into coverage. The other can wait, then shoot through an opening after the offense has already committed. Behind the edge rush, that speed can turn short completions into hard stops instead of easy gains. The plan is not about reckless pressure. It is about making the quarterback pause, because one extra pause gives the rush time to arrive. Depth is what could make this front dangerous for 4 quarters. Malcolm Kuntz returns with experience in Leonard's system, while Kieran Crawford enters as a third-round rookie who flashed during spring work. Jonah Laulu also showed last season that he can add pressure from inside. None of them needs to carry the defense alone. Their value comes from keeping fresh legs on the field and changing the picture from one snap to the next. The Raiders can line up heavy, move faster on passing downs, or bring pressure from a place the offense did not expect. But the front can only attack freely if the secondary survives behind it. That leads to the youngest and most uncertain room on the roster, where one fifth-round pick has forced coaches to notice him. The surprise of the spring did not come from the most expensive player in the secondary. It came from Hezekiah Masses, a fifth-round rookie who entered the building without a guaranteed role and quickly earned work with the first-team defense. That does not make him a starter yet, and June practices cannot answer every question. Still, coaches do not place a late pick across from veteran receivers by accident. Masses brought strong ball skills from California, where he recorded 5 interceptions and 13 pass breakups during his final college season. Now he must prove that production can survive against NFL speed. The competition around him is crowded for a reason. Eric Stokes returns with outside experience. Taron Johnson arrives from Buffalo as a proven nickel defender who understands how to work in traffic. Darian Porter enters his second year with the size and movement to challenge for outside snaps. Then there is Jermod McCoy, a fourth-round rookie whose talent once placed him much higher in draft talks before concerns about his repaired knee changed the picture. Las Vegas also used a second-round pick on safety Treydon Stukes and a fifth-round selection on Dalton Johnson. The staff did not add one rescue piece. It created a fight for nearly every job. That fight should make the entire defense sharper, but it also carries risk. Young defensive backs will be tested by motion, double moves, and quarterbacks who know how to create mistakes with their eyes. One missed call can erase 3 good snaps. That is why Taron Johnson and Eric Stokes matter beyond their own coverage. They can help the younger players understand where danger is coming from before the ball moves. If Masses, McCoy, or Stukes grows quickly, the Raiders can play tighter coverage and give the pass rush another heartbeat to reach home. If they struggle, the defense may be forced to protect them with safer calls. Training camp will decide which version appears. And the answer matters because the AFC West is preparing for a season unlike any it has seen in years. The AFC West is not becoming easy. It is becoming uncertain, and that difference gives Las Vegas a real opening right now. For years, every division conversation started with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. It still should, but Mahomes enters this season working back from torn knee ligaments, and nobody can honestly promise how quickly his full movement will return. He has said he hopes to play in Week 1, while Andy Reid has kept the early training camp plan careful. Kansas City also added Justin Fields, giving the Chiefs an experienced option if patience becomes necessary. Denver answered with another aggressive move. The Broncos traded for Jalen Waddle, adding rare speed to an offense led by Sean Payton. That does not guarantee anything, but it changes how defenses must prepare. One missed angle can become a touchdown. One safety pulled too far outside can open the middle. The Los Angeles Chargers remain dangerous as well, with enough talent to punish any team that arrives unprepared. This division has not lost its teeth. The difference is that the Raiders now have more ways to fight back, especially if their running game controls time, and their defense creates pressure without sending everyone forward. Las Vegas does not need to announce a division takeover in July. That would be empty noise after finishing near the bottom. The first goal is smaller and more important. Become difficult to play every week. Protect the football. Keep the quarterback upright. Make opponents tackle Ashton Jaunty for 4 quarters. Force hurried throws with Max Crosby and the new front. Let the young secondary learn without asking it to survive alone. If those pieces hold, close games can start leaning the other way. A single win inside the division can change confidence. 2 can change the standings. The Raiders are not being handed a crown, but the path no longer feels sealed shut before the season begins. And the strangest reason for hope is still waiting at the end of this story, because the defender who could decide those games was nearly wearing different colors. The deal that nearly changed everything began with 2 first-round picks. Las Vegas agreed to send Max Crosby to the Baltimore Ravens for the 14th choice in the 2026 draft, and another first-round selection in 2027. Crosby even traveled to Baltimore as the football world treated the move like it was finished. But it could not become official until the new league year, and the final medical review stopped it. Baltimore studied the knee that had bothered him late last season, decided the risk was too high, and walked away. That ending left both sides with a different future. The Raiders lost a chance to collect draft power, but they kept the player who defines their defense. Crosby produced 10 sacks and 28 tackles for loss last season, despite missing the final 2 games. He later underwent surgery to repair his meniscus and spent the spring working through rehabilitation instead of practice. General manager John Spytek said the team expected him back healthy in August. That is encouraging, but the real answer will come when pads go on, because effort has never been the question. The knee must allow Crosby to play with the same force, balance, and non-stop energy that made him a 5-time Pro Bowler. This is why the Raiders enter the season with hope and pressure living in the same room. The roster is younger, faster, and better protected in key places, but none of that guarantees a sudden rise. Success begins with steady quarterback play, cleaner blocking, and meaningful games late in the year. It grows if Fernando Mendoza develops without being rushed, Ashton Jonty turns better lanes into bigger damage, and the new defensive backs survive their early tests. The ceiling climbs much higher if Crosby returns at full strength and gives the defense its edge back. Las Vegas does not need a fake promise about winning the division today. It needs proof that this foundation can hold. The monster is not one headline, it is what this team could become when every new piece works together.